You may know Taylor Swift as a talented singer and songwriter, with several platinum records, hit singles, and Grammy Awards. The young songwriter has been a source of both entertainment and inspiration for people of all ages. But did you know that Taylor outsmarted her record label, effectively making her a billionaire? Who is the real Taylor Swift? And what are the facts that even her most loyal fans might not know?
How do you know that?
Here's 10 facts you didn't know about Taylor Swift. The final one will completely change the way you see her. When I was doing research for this video, I found that Taylor is actually a really down-to-earth person. She once bought a home for a fan who was not only homeless but pregnant as well. The fan Stephanie was homeless for 8 months of her pregnancy. When Taylor heard her story from Stephanie's mom, she made it her mission to make sure that Stephanie and her baby had all they could need. Taylor is the kind of person to go out of her way to help people around her. She is also a believer of karma in life. Maybe her good deeds is the reason she is so successful today. However, Taylor's road to success was anything but easy. When she was 14, she found herself in a situation that could very well spell the end of her music career. She moved to Nashville with her family, aiming to break into the country music scene. Despite her talent, she faced numerous rejections from record labels, who often told her she was too young or needed more development. One of the pivotal moments was when she was dropped from an artist development deal with RCA Records at age 14 because she wanted to sing her own songs, and they were not convinced of her songwriting ability. Instead of giving up, Taylor Swift used this rejection as fuel to prove her detractors wrong. She continued to write songs, hone her craft, and perform wherever she could. Her perseverance paid off when she caught the attention of Scott Borchetta, who was in the process of forming Big Machine Records. Impressed by her songwriting and performance, Borchetta signed her to his new label, and she began working on her debut album. This album, released when she was 16, would go on to catapult her into stardom, marking the beginning of what would become a highly successful music career. Through her talent, hard work, and determination, Taylor Swift turned a potentially career-ending situation into a stepping stone that led to her becoming one of the most influential artists of her generation. Did you know that Taylor Swift once transformed herself into a man? This took place in her music video for The Man, which was released on February 27, 2020. In the video, Swift undergoes a complete gender transformation to play a male character. This dramatic change was achieved through the use of impressive makeup and prosthetics. Someone give the makeup artists a raise because this looks crazy. It's so convincing that I wouldn't have recognized Taylor even if she stood right in front of me. Powerful stuff. Anyway, through the character, Swift satirizes and critiques gender stereotypes, double standards, and the patriarchal structures that favor men's success and authority in various spheres, including the workplace, sports, and entertainment. The video was both directed and written by Swift herself, showcasing her commitment to addressing critical issues surrounding gender inequality and feminism. Her portrayal sparked widespread discussions and acclaim for its creativity and bold message, adding another layer to her advocacy for women's rights and equality. What do you think? Know that Taylor and her fans actually caused an earthquake? What? That's crazy. Taylor Swift fans took her Shake It Off musical advice literally at Lumen Field in Seattle, causing a 2.3 magnitude earthquake. For everyone that's not a seismologist, that's a lot. Swift's ability to literally move the earth is scary. Remind me to never mess with Swifties. This seismic event, dubbed the Swiftquake, occurred during one of her sold-out concerts, as thousands of fans jumped in unison to the beats of her hit songs. The energy and enthusiasm of Swift's fans were so intense that they registered on the Richter scale, an occurrence that has rarely been documented at concert events. What about Taylor's affinity for the number 13? This isn't just a casual preference. Taylor considers 13 her lucky number, a fact that bewilders many. Born on the 13th, turning 13 on Friday the 13th, and her first album went gold in 13 weeks. Taylor's embrace of this number, including drawing it on her hand before performances, is a testament to her individuality and perhaps her way of redefining luck and success on her own terms.
We have an artist at work. My mom is the only one who's ever been entrusted to draw on my 13. She hasn't done it since I think mid-2009. So considering the time you've taken away from the craft, you really just jumped right back in and excelling.
I did it.
Yeah, it's the 13th show of the Reputation Stadium Tour.
Taylor is also not afraid to get into a fight. With the launch of Apple Music in 2015, Swift took a strong stand against the tech giant's initial policy, which proposed not to pay artists during the service's 3-month free trial period for subscribers. Known for her advocacy for fair compensation for artists, Swift publicly criticized this policy in an open letter posted on her Tumblr page. In her letter, she argued that the policy was unfair to struggling musicians who rely on earnings from their music, stating, "We don't ask you for free iPhones, Please don't ask us to provide you with our music for no compensation. Apple responded to Swift's letter almost immediately. Eddie Q, Apple's senior vice president of Internet Software and Services, announced via Twitter that the company had changed its policy and would pay artists even during the customer's free trial period. Taylor is beyond talented at writing songs. She wrote Love Story in 20 minutes on her bedroom floor. The mega-hit song Love Story was penned by Swift in less than half an hour. This remarkable fact was revealed by her mom, Andrea, when she was presenting her daughter with the ACM Milestone Award in 2008. Andrea said,
"And her dad and I strongly disapproved of a certain young man. She was real mad, and she went to her room, and she came out about an hour later with a song called Love Story."
Swift spent her early years growing up on a Christmas tree farm in Reading, Pennsylvania, before her family moved to Nashville, Tennessee, to help her break into country music. Swift speaks fondly of her childhood and has said where she lived is part of the reason she loves Christmas so much. She even wrote a song about her experience, which is aptly named Christmas Tree Farm. Taylor loves to give back to her fans. Before the release of 1989, Swift invited some of her biggest fans to her house to hear the album first, and even baked cookies for them. Explaining how she chose guests during an interview on The Graham Norton Show, the star said,
Basically, I got this idea before I finished the album, and I wanted to call it the 1989 Secret Sessions, because I knew before I finished the album that I was most proud of this album more than anything I'd done before, and so I wanted to give fans a chance to hear it before it came out, like a month before it came out, and I'd never done this before, but I wanted it to be all fans who had never met me before and had been like, I've been to 7 shows, I've never met you, I camped out on the street, I waited outside, I never saw you, whatever. Like, I wanted it to be these people who've been so dedicated, but I've never gotten to thank them in person.
Taylor Swift has had her share of rebellious moments, especially regarding artists' rights and creative control. Another notable instance was her dispute with her former record label, Big Machine Records, over the ownership of her masters. In 2019, Swift took a stand against Big Machine Records and music manager Scooter Braun after Braun's company, Ithaca Holdings, acquired the label, which included the masters of Swift's first 6 albums. Swift expressed her discontent publicly, stating that she was not given the opportunity to buy her masters before the sale, and that Braun's acquisition of her music catalog was her worst-case scenario. She argued that artists should own the rights to their music and that this move was a manipulative control over her work. In response, Swift announced her intention to re-record her first 6 albums, an effort she dubbed Taylor's version, to regain control over her music. This move was seen as a rebellious and groundbreaking act in the music industry, challenging the traditional power dynamics between artists and record labels.
I've always wanted to own my own music since I started making my music, and if you probably don't know this, but most of your favorite artists do not own their work. The music industry is, certain corners of it, but I think that there was something that happened years ago where I made it very clear that I wanted to be able to buy my music. That opportunity was not given to me, and it was sold to somebody else. And so I just figured I was the one who made this music first. I can just make it again.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing.
I have to say.
Reflecting on everything I've learned about Taylor Swift, I find myself inspired by the person she is. What strikes me the most is Taylor's ability to transform challenges into opportunities. Not just for herself, but for others too. And it makes me believe more than ever in the power of good karma. Now, over to the boring YouTube stuff. I am a small channel, so feel free to subscribe or share your opinions in the comments. Have a nice day.